Hi everybody, hope everybody's doing really well. Welcome to Carmens Bronco Shop. We've got a fantastic episode for you today. First thing we're going to do is we're going to install the headers. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but there's some special bolts that we use with the headers so that they won't back off, some special washers and clips. Once you install these headers, make sure you trim off the gasket. This is really important because I didn't do that when I had the opportunity. So make sure you got to install the spark plugs, and then make sure you trim those gaskets before you install your fenders and everything like that, because it gets really difficult to do that. And that's where I'm at now. I got to somehow get into the joint in my arm so I can get in around and do that. Anyway, after we're done with that, then we move to the 9-inch rear end. Just basically, it's not a big deal. We lift it up, put it in place, put all the bolts on, torque them to, I think it is 35 pounds. And then we're moving on to the body. And that's exciting. It's kind of neat watching that all, get lifted up and slid over and into place without breaking anything. It's exciting. Anyway, stick with us. Here we go. Now I say that, but these are called Rem Flex. And they're supposed to be really good. They actually compress. So you torque your bolts, and you're not supposed to have to worry about them because everything is supposed to constantly be tightening up and expanding with these. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. But anyway, they're an eighth of an inch thick, these. So you torque them, and that's all you're supposed to have to do. Anyway, I'll grab one. We've got some new special bolts. Okay, so here's the bolt. And then once you have the bolt on, you have this other washer that fits over the hex head, just like that. I don't know if you can kind of see it or not. Anyway, once you have that fit up against the header, then there's a C-clip that goes over the top, just like that. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see it or not. But anyway, you pop that into place, and these aren't backing off anywhere. So it should save a lot of messing around. Anyway, that's what we got going on here today. So let's put our first 2 or 3 in. Yeah, oh yeah. You gotta like those. In a rush. I put that on the other day so I wouldn't have to worry about it. But obviously that's a little too soon. Look how easy this is when you don't have a body on the truck, no inner fenders to mess around. Nothing. It's the ultimate. All right, so you can see I threw some green tape on here because I kept tapping the header with my wrench, and I know that they're going to get beat up as time goes on, but I didn't want to beat them up myself, not yet. Anyway, the torque spec on these is 20 pounds, and unfortunately, you can't really get. You can get your socket on maybe 2 or 3 of these. So I'm just trying to get some idea of what that is. And you're supposed to start from the inside and work your way out. There. Okay.
Just want to point out, right at this point, you should take a moment to trim your gasket back. Install your spark plugs first. But if you don't do it, you're not going to be able to get a spark plug wrench on your plugs afterward. And unfortunately, that's where I'm at right now, and the body's on. So it's really difficult to trim the gasket back when the body's on. I should know
what 20 pounds is, so I use the same kind of pressure on my wrench. Anyway, I think you get the idea. So we'll finish off that and we'll move to the other side. All right. Headers are all installed. Fuel lines are installed, brake lines. Two shocks in the back. That's a nice clean look. Everything. Brand new. Beautiful. All right. So there's the new Eaton, Detroit, Torsen, Positrack rear end in the 9-inch Ford. Just had it sitting up there. We just torqued in the main bearings. The caps here. Anyway, we're going to take it out and install it in the rear end right now. And yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Looks pretty small, but that's the way it has to be able to fit inside the 9-inch. I was expecting something huge, but no, not at all. But the one that's in the 44 up front is a lot bigger. That's going to be installed hopefully next week. First step is to put some gasket sealer on here. Sorry, I got to be in the way for this one, but you'll see it in a sec. But you don't want to have a leak with this Ford 9-inch rear end, because it means you got to lift the whole thing up, pull the axles out again, mess around with all that, pull the rear end of the housing, drain all your fluids. It's not a good scene. And this is Permatex Ultra Gray, especially designed for this type of application. It's a great product. Wow. Kind of hard to get close to, but anyway, we're all set. I left the silicone sealer on there for an hour, and then they say to come back and torque everything down at that point, and it torques in at 35. Geez, that seems high. Beautiful. Okay, so here we are. New drive shaft is in. Had that built at Parks for Trucks. So although the overall diameter might be a little less, it's got to be a thicker gauge steel. New rear end, new gas tank, shocks, springs, emergency brake cables, brake lines, everything. All right, we're ready to install the. Oh, and there's of course the 2-inch blocks. Really, they're 1 inch. That's 2 inches, but the normal without a lift is a half inch, or an inch. So really, only all we're getting here is 1 extra inch. And if I don't like it, I'll take them out and cut them in half. Body's ready to go on. Body's all lifted up. I just finished spraying the underneath of it. Looks really good. And I've actually used a bunch of easy liner for some real troubled spots. Like up underneath here, that seam, I mean that's habitual. It'll always rust out. So I just layered that on underneath. Both rocker panels on the inside, and also these areas right here. Oh, it's still a little tacky. But here we are underneath. I don't know if you can. Yeah, so looks really nice under here. This is a 4-wheel drive. This is going to be going out in the snow and, you know, all kinds of things like that. And I just figured I'm not actually putting this in any shows. I'm building it to use it, so I may as well protect it. So that's the plan, and that's what we have right now. So next step is to put this back on top of the frame. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here we go. Anybody that was watching when I took it off knows that it looks a little precarious, but it's not really. It's just me working in the shop here by myself, and I just have to go slow. All right, so I've got to let it all the way down, and I'm gonna have to wiggle it around a little bit because, of course, where the body mounts are is where I've got the screws and the fasteners for Wavy. Quiet down. Dog hears me talking and he figures somebody's here and he's going to investigate. Anyway, we're in good shape here. So it's a good thing I'm going slow, because I just realized that the way my exhaust or my sensor is set up on the exhaust, it's going to hit the inside. So I've got to loosen that up and spin that around. So, in case nobody understood what I just said, because I'm kind of half talking, half thinking, what I said was that the exhaust sensor for my fuel injection is obviously hooked to a small extension pipe on the end of the header, and it's on an angle outward, and it's going to hit the side of the body. So I've got to loosen it off. I knew that was too good to be true. All right, so there it is. It's down. Obviously, it's not in the right spot yet. I'll get those bolts taken out, shimmy the body around on top of the body, or the body mounts, and we'll have it. It's not like it's that heavy. Okay, I can show you this much of where we're at right now, because it really doesn't look a whole lot different than what you just saw a few seconds ago. Anyway, next episode is going to be equally as exciting. We're starting to install, body parts and things like that, but the front rear end, the Dana 44, we install that. We install the nice red springs in the front, and then we move towards setting up the grill and showing you how to put the Bronco letters and drilling all the holes for the nice ring that goes around the trim ring that goes around the grill. And anyway, stick with us. It's a blast. Love having you. Oh, and if you're having fun, you enjoying everything, subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and then you automatically get notification when I send another episode out. Have a great day. Cheers, everybody.